Hearts have taken a massive step towards the title, overcoming City rivals in a chaotic Edinburgh derby to maintain their stay at the top with just 4 games to go. Hibernian were down to 9 men and holding on for dear life, but Blair Spittle's 86-minute winner finally broke the resistance and sent the away end into absolute dreamland. Wee Blair, funnily enough, Wee Blair used to play with my boy back in the day. Oh, when they were kids. Yeah. Great. He's had a great wee career, Blair. Fantastic. For more than this, I'm absolutely delighted to say that joining us now is a man who's taken Hearts to the summit of Scottish football. It's their manager, Derek McInnes. Derek, very good morning, mate. How are you?
Morning, Derek.
I'm good. Morning, Andy. Morning, Ali. You good, boys?
Great. Thanks for joining us, pal.
No problem.
Listen, how are the nerves? That's the first question I've got to ask you, because mine are in tatters.
No, obviously yesterday was such an unusual set of circumstances. You very rarely win a game or have to deal with a game playing against 9 men. You don't practice that ordinarily, but Hibs had something to hang on to. It's an Edinburgh derby in front of their own fans. They fought and gave their club everything. They defended in numbers. They fought hard to never get kind of overloads in wide areas. But we finally brought them down, and obviously a big moment when Spitz scores the winning goal for us. And obviously in the context of the season, 3 points at this stage is just vitally important, whatever way you do it. But we kept our composure, kept just kind of trying to probe, and it's that balance between trying to show patience and calmness, but still play with the tempo you need to move the opposition. But we got our reward in the end.
Yeah. Dale, tell me just a quick one, mate. Tell me a little bit about your shape at the start of the game, and did you change it during the game with the red cards?
So we set out in a back three. Yeah. We anticipated Hibs been playing their back three as you ordinarily do, and we went like a 3-4-1-2 with Braga off of Kabore and Shankland. And the reason being, we just felt Kabore would cause him problems running behind. He's physical, he's got quick, he's got that real pace that can unnerve defenders. None more so really in the red card defence for the goalie. Yeah. He chases a ball in behind and he's no favourite for it. But and then with the red card, Hibs change shape. They go like a 4-3-2 effectively. And we just went more or less half time. We just went a 4-4-2, traditional 4-4-2. We get to try and get on the outside of them a wee bit second half. So, no, all good. I was a panic there. You need to have a rethink about your title for your bookies expert, John. I don't know if he is an expert. He just said there that Celtic are a point behind us. I nearly spat my coffee out. I went to my bed last night. I went to my bed last night 3 points clear of Celtic, and I woke up. And John, you're the expert, says we're only a point.
Dale, you need to calm yourself. The man's traumatised. He's a Rochdale fan.
He is, yeah.
If we can allow, Dale, if we can allow MD a mistake this Monday morning, it's John Hill. Yeah, I did notice that myself, mate.
Hey, Derek, what about the way your boys have handled it mentally? Because look, you're clearly a very talented group, but when you're where you are and you've been there for as long as you have, and the others are chipping away at you, very, very difficult. Yeah. How impressed have you been the way the boys have handled that mentally?
Yeah, I think it's, obviously Rangers and Celtic are not only teams at the top of the league. Sometimes you get the odd team doing it intermittently, but we actually feel, we've been top of the league since September, more or less, by and large, for a few hours. We're nearly into May. We feel comfortable where we are. Do you know what I mean? It's not a purple patch. It's something that we're quite comfortable with. And obviously, as the weeks go by, there's more expectation on us. That pressure can build. But it seems you're in about it, Andy, to be honest. Like day to day, you would never really know. We just go on with it. We get to enjoy our work. We have a laugh. We get the serious work done. But it's all quite relaxed. And I think we try and drive that side of it because there's enough going on outside of it all. But I actually think that the temperament's been good. We're top. We're performances and we're win percentage against the teams in and around us. I think we're at 70%.
Unbelievable.
We're beating the teams. We've beaten Celtic twice, beaten Rangers twice. We've beaten Falkirk 3 times, beaten Hibs 3 times. So the teams that are in and around us, we've had the bigger the game, the bigger the performance, and I think that helps to build that resolve and strength and mentality. Really, I would imagine. But listen, we've had a good weekend yesterday. Us and Celtic had a good weekend as opposed to Rangers, but then that can change. We're well aware that the work's still got to be done, and there's still challenges ahead of us. But I think we're dealing with it well enough. But we just need to try and deal with the next few games.
Dale, it's amazing to watch. I mean, and you're right, because just before the split, all the odds came out and all that stuff, and a lot of people, understandably, I would argue, made Rangers and Celtic favourites, probably just because of the history, right? But you absolutely, and I reminded everybody, right, that Hearts have already beaten Celtic twice, already beaten Rangers twice. I think you had a draw as well against Celtic, and you lost once at Ibrox. So there is absolutely no fear at all. And you look as though, to me, for the outside looking in, Dale, you know better than MD how important squads and spirits within the squad is important. At what point, and I know there's no prizes given out yet, Dale, but at what point during the season, Dale, did you look at your squad and think of your squad and say, no one lose or draw from now on in, Hearts have been absolutely unbelievable and it'd be an incredible season. But at what point have you looked at that squad and said, we've got a special group of boys here?
I think maybe early on I thought we could do something. Obviously, when you first go in, the first job was to try and just meet the expectations of what the Hearts supporters were looking for, and that was to try and finish at least third if we could and try to get those European spots. So we set out this task to just get to 18 wins as quickly as possible, which we felt would guarantee us Europe. But the first round of fixtures, we flew through the League Cup games, and then the first round of fixtures, we won 9 and drew 2, and then there was a wee reference for us. We go top of the league in September, and I just said to the lads, we've shown we can do it. The first round of fixtures can be something close to that in the second round, and then see where we go. And I actually felt that, I think we've had 23 points, won from the 83rd minute on. And and I used to know, but when you're playing with special squads and working with a special bunch of lads, that that's no through chance that you're scoring loads of late winners. It's like it illustrates a lot of things: strength of character, strength of the squad, strength of fitness. That kind of determination can get things done as well. So, we've had a lot of late winners, a lot of dramatic games, but all that I think helps just feed the strength of the lads. And we never ever feel we're out it. Never, even when we've lost games, apart from the game at Ibrox when they scored the last goal in the 93rd minute, we've only lost by the odd goal, and a lot of those games were so tight, so we've been competitive. We've got 2 boys up top that can score goals, Shankland and Braga. Potentially, because I go with 2 strikers, I can't afford to have a striker that is going to get you 30 goals a season. Rangers and Celtic can go and spend 10 million in these guys, but I made a point at the start of the season, I'm going to go with 2, and hopefully 2 can get me 20 each, and that gives me my 40 goals. If you've got 40 goals from your front 2, then you're going to be there or thereabouts.
He's been unbelievable, Braga. I'll tell you right now, spine of your team, I think it's been terrific. You know what I think? I love Halkett and Finlay as well. Just solid boys. You can hang your hat on every week. But Dale, I've got to say, and it surprised me, but it's another one credit for the Hearts boys. You handled. I thought you'd have suffered a little bit more than you did when Shanklin and Devlin were out the side. But boy, did you handle that well.
No, we did, and I think the question was asked of us. Losing Lawrence is such a key figure for us, not just for his goals, but just his influence in and around the training pitch, as is Cammy. But you lose your captain, we had to try and cope with that, and that's been really pleasing for us that we have managed to. I thought if we could get to the post-split still in the hunt and still close, then we just wanted to take it down that final straight. Our form's been good of late. I think we've won 6 out of the last 8. So we've picked up a wee bit. We've got a wee lift of Lawrence and coming back. We're still missing Cammy. Hopefully we can get him back next week. But there's still got a lot to do. Rangers coming to Tynecastle isn't straightforward. We've got to try and keep a level of performance again and go and deal with the game. But confident with what we've had so far that we can lean on all that.
Yeah, Derek, and look, you're always looking after your players and you're trying to keep them right and get them in the perfect shape for every game that comes out. What do you do? What do you do when it's so tight and it's so consuming the job? What do you do to try and get away from it a bit?
And did you know something? I would look at another manager now if they've been top of the league to September, and I would be going, lucky get how good must his life be? He must, everything just must be so straightforward. I should be enjoying it more. I enjoy the winning. I enjoy the celebration. I enjoy seeing my players, take pleasure in a winning performance. I like being in and about them, but I should be enjoying it a wee bit more. But you're trying to kind of just switch off. I walk my dogs. I like being about the house. I like my days off. The golfing season's coming back in, but it's hard to switch off, as you know. It's like, even now I'm just starting to think about the Rangers and getting prepared for that. So it's hard to switch off. Hopefully switch off at the end of the season, and time for reflecting on a good job hopefully is then. But we can't allow ourselves to think that way, Andy, mate, to be honest.
No.
Yeah, it's been brilliant.
Great stuff.
Coisty, thanks for that text last night saying I hope he's going to win it now, mate. That was brilliant of you. You're some man. I know you're a Rangers man, but that was very kind. Right, cheers.
Aye, so you did. Yes. By the way, you're doing brilliant. I hope you get pumped on Monday, right? Okay.
Cheers,
well done,
pal.
mate. I'm deadly serious. What a job you're doing, pal. And we're all really proud of you. Really proud of you, mate.
Great stuff, Derek.
Cheers.
Well done, pal.
Keep it going,
Speak
pal.
soon.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Bye-bye.
Great to have a Hearts boss, Derek McInnes in the show. What a job. What a job. Isn't it fantastic?
Amazing. He came to West Brom when I was finishing my career at West Brom. Derek came down, and a great boy. Good.
He's a great lad.
Good lad. Good. And again, it's like Mikel Arteta at the moment is he's desperate to try and steer his team over the line, and there is something when you come out of the ground. You've done it as a manager. You have to try and switch off and go, like he says, he walks the dogs or have a game of golf or watch a bit of rubbish on the telly for an hour or two. You got to, haven't you?
Gosh, do it, mate.